I'm glad you stayed with us. Now, let's talk of the plot. The plot is not the story. It is the arrangement of a series of events that make up the story in the play. It is the structural device that is used to give a single unified form and meaning to dramatic action. It is the overall flow of a play. There are two types of plot. The first is organic. It consists of scenes which are arranged according to chronological sequence. The events continuously take place as a consequence of the previous action. Absence of one scene will make the flow of the play incomplete and incomprehensible. Second, the episodic. It consists of a series of episodes where the theme develops and characters interact unitedly as the play progresses. Each episode has its own setting, climax, and at times, resolution. Therefore, a complete story in itself that can be presented separately. The plot as framework of the action has a structure. By structure, we mean the sequence by which the story is presented. Plot is usually divided into three major parts: the beginning, the middle, and the end. The beginning usually gives the details of the place, the geographical location, social and cultural or political background, time or period when the event happened. This is called the setting. Beginning involves exposition. Exposition is the revelation of the identity of all characters, the exposure of a secret, mystery, or past incident that happened prior to, but related to the existing problem or crisis. This is antecedent. Point of attack is that point where a playwright starts his story. There are two ways of starting a story. First, the unfolding plot. Here, the playwright begins his dramatic action at the point near the climax, conclusion, or end. Most of the important events which lead to the climax had already happened and are slowly being revealed through dialogue and actions of the characters as the play progresses. Second, the accretive plot. It is also the early point of attack. The story here is presented according to its chronological sequence, that is, from the very first incident to its climactic order. The middle is composed of a series of complications, which are incidents that change and alter the direction of action. Complications may arise from the discovery of a new information, the unexpected change of plan, the need to choose between two courses of action, or introduction of new ideas which can create problems to destabilize the situation, narrowing probability for action leading to the crisis, also called the turning point. Crisis is the peak of suspense in the series of incidents which leads to the obligatory scene. The obligatory scene is the open clash between two opposing characters or forces. It is where the highest conflicting interest or goal of the protagonist and antagonist are clearly shown, leading to discovery. Discovery is the revelation of things which are previously unknown. Such revelation may be discovered through A. Objects. An example is the discovery of a weapon used for murder. Next, persons. An instance would be a girl finding out that her boyfriend is her half-brother. Next, facts. An example is that the reason for a mother putting her child in a foster home to keep her from getting hurt by an abusive father. Next, values. a woman discovers that love is more important than material comfort. Next, self-discovery. A most effective discovery is when a man discovers that his selfishness and materialism are the cause of his own unhappiness. Finally, we reach the ending. This is the third major part, which brings the situation back to equilibrium and satisfies the audience. This extends to the final curtain, where peace is completely returned. Here's how we can help our students determine the plot. Let's take some cues from this classroom scene.
Class, how did you like the play Riders to the Sea? Oh, okay, very well. Yes, Jody?
Ma'am, the story is so tragic. Imagine all the sons and male members of the family died at sea.
Okay, very well. Notice, it has been said that drama is a show of conflict. So what forces or wills are in opposition? Yes, Jemeline.
Ma'am, Maurya the mother and Bartley the only living son.
Ah, why did you say that?
Because Maurya didn't like Bartley to go to the Galway Fair in another island.
Okay, that's good, Jemeline. Do you agree with her, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you think that's the main conflict? Yes, I think. Okay, right. Yes, Jose.
Ma'am, I think the real reason why Maurya did not want Bartley to go was that she was afraid that Bartley would drown like all her other sons. So therefore, she's afraid of the sea.
Okay, so notice, and that also reinforced, okay, the fact then that even before Bartley decided to go away, Maurya was already anxious because another son, Michael, was missing, okay, at sea for 9 days. So now, are you trying to say then that the forces in opposition are between Maurya and the sea? Yes, Walter.
Yes, it is. It has always been man against nature. It is a fact that Maurya cannot accept that the sea has always been the cause of her deaths in her family.
Okay, very good. Now, did Maurya finally have peace of mind? Yes, Carol?
Ma'am, I think she did. It was when Bartley was died and she learned about Michael, that he was already found and was buried in the Donegal.
Okay, what a fine play. Now, you are familiar with comic strips that tell complete stories, let's say in 4 or 5 boxes, aren't you?
Yes,
Okay, so that is exactly what you are going to do. I'd like you to trace or plot, okay, the line of action or plot of the play. Okay, by doing so, I would like you to group yourselves into 3 as I distribute the grid. Okay, or story grid or play grid which we have here. Okay, so group yourselves into 3. Let's have group works now. Okay. Yes. So this time, okay, I'd like you to trace the plot or line of action of the play by classifying or filling in each box then of which event, okay, fits each place or each area. As you have it, as you work on this, I'd like you to draw, or if you cannot, you can also describe in words each setting that would fit each box, okay, for us to trace the plot of Riders to the Sea. Okay, so later on, I'd like you to choose and agree among yourselves who will be reporting in class, whatever project or output you'll be coming up with. Okay, so let's see. Are you ready, class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's see what Albert's group has done.
Yes,
Okay, and yes, Albert, show it and explain it to the class.
Yes, the antecedent action is that all male members of the family died at sea. Okay. And the initial problem was that Michael has been lost for 9 days. here. And the complication is that Bartley also wants to go to another island by boat.
Ah.
And the crisis happens when Maurya tries to stop Bartley from going out to sea. Okay. And the turning point is that Bartley leaves and he drowns too. And though Maurya has no more sons left for him to take care
Oh.
for her.
And that made everything tragic.
Yeah, and wait, the result is that Maurya finally accepts her fate, that all her sons are dead already.
Okay, very well presented. Let's give him a big hand. Okay.
From such a discussion, theme may be derived. We'll do that as well as discuss style and types of drama after this station break. Stay tuned.